Oh, this is an original meal?
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
You tried, I'll give you that. Do you think you'll be finished in time?
Well, closest approach is 11:47 GMT tomorrow. We should receive a data burst shortly after that. Aside from getting the power back on, just need to reconnect some of the telescope's auxiliary systems, point it and listen.
You know it's just a matter of time before we get caught. I've noticed the militia patrolling closer to the university, and if they notice the power on, it's getting really dangerous. You know what will happen if they find us? Why is it that you want to do this? Why expose yourself for pictures of some far-off planet? You know the militia will execute you for being here. Why not just go back into hiding?
I need to stay there.
How long has it been since you spoke to someone before me?
The world isn't entirely empty. There are other scientists and engineers in Cambridge.
That's not what I meant. How long since you really spoke to someone?
Since it happened.
How long has it been?
5 years. It's been 5 years.
What have you been doing since the plague?
Just drifting from place to place, trying to avoid the militia. Then I decided I had to do something more important. I decided to come here.
What about before?
I was an engineer at the agency, making a small contribution, but it mattered.
What about family? Did you lose someone close?
That's difficult to talk about.
Please, Daryl, I want to know.
I lost someone close, like everyone else. I met her at a friend's house party. I've never met anyone like her before. We moved in together a few months after we met. Life was so good back then. We were so happy. And then the first wave of the virus hit. I caught it, developed an immunity to it, like you, and recovered. It was harmless. People thought it was a joke. We never thought the second wave would be so deadly. And then she got the virus in the second wave. And then everyone got sick. There wasn't even time to panic. The radio stations went silent, television, and in the end the whole world. She died 3 days after she got infected. She deteriorated pretty fast. I remember that last night. She was in bed, shaking. She looked so scared. But she couldn't say anything. She could hardly breathe. All she could do was squeeze my hand. And her grip just got weaker and weaker. Afterwards, I held her. And then I don't remember what happened very well. I just remember waking up outside and I just felt nothing. There was just silence. You must have been young when it happened.
I was 15. It was just my mum who looked after us. Dad left us when I was a child. She tried to look after us, she tried to reassure us, but there was nothing she could do. But I didn't really know what was happening. I remember one day I hid in her closet and listened to her talk to her friend. They cried and hugged each other. I somehow knew I was going to lose her. And toward the end, when she was too sick to look after herself, all she kept saying was, "Look after Becky."
Becky?
My little sister. And then the silence began. My sister wouldn't leave my mum's side for hours. I tried to be strong for her. I couldn't explain what had happened. She kept asking for Mum. But after a while we started to walk. I thought we would find other survivors, but there was no one.
Where is your sister? Was she captured?
We were staying in a building in the city. Somehow it caught fire. There were a lot of fires at that time in Nottingham. We tried to escape down a stairwell. There was thick black smoke everywhere. I was holding onto her hand all the way. Suddenly there was a loud bang and the building shook, and I wasn't holding her hand anymore. I screamed and screamed her name, but she didn't answer. Eventually I found her, trapped in the rubble. I dug her out and carried her out of the building. I tried to revive her, but her body was just limp. I lost her, she was gone.
There's nothing you could do. A lot of people died.
But she'd survived the plague. She wasn't meant to die. She was only 10. And I broke my promise. I broke my promise to my mum. Please, let's just give up on this and leave here.
You could be captured. You should leave. You should go to a safe place.
No.
You'll be okay, Mina. When was the last time you listened to music?
I don't want to be alone.